Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome back to another awesome edition of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing building and managing knowledge repositories for studio-wide learning in the video game industry. Step-by-step strategies to capture, organize, and scale your studio's collective expertise for enhanced development efficiency. In the highly collaborative and fast-paced environment of video game development, capturing and sharing institutional knowledge is both a strategic necessity and a challenge. From technical pipelines and art style guidelines to design philosophies and post-mortem learnings, a wealth of insights accumulates across projects, and too often these insights remain siloed within individual teams or lost over time. Building and managing a robust knowledge repository enables studio-wide learnings, ensures continuity across projects, and empowers every team member to make informed decisions, driving both production efficiency and creative quality. This guide provides a step-by-step roadmap for leaders and production managers in the video game industry to design, implement, and sustain a knowledge repository that supports continuous learning and innovation across your studio. Each section includes actionable steps you can take today to begin harnessing the collective intelligence of your organization. First up, conduct a needs assessment. Before selecting tools or defining structures, understand what your studio truly needs from a knowledge repository. Actionable steps here. Stakeholder interviews. Schedule 30-minute interviews with leads from each department: programming, art, design, QA, production, and marketing, to identify common knowledge gaps and critical tribal know-how at risk of being lost. Survey team members. Deploy a short survey asking all staff, what documentations do you wish you had? Where do you currently go for answers? What process or decision did you repeat unnecessarily due to lack of shared information? Analyze existing assets. Audit your current documentation. Shared drives, email threads, wikis, Google Docs, and Slack channels. Note redundancies, outdated files, and uncaptured tacit knowledge. Next up, define scope, goals, and success metrics. A well-scoped project aligns expectations and provides clear targets for adoption and impact. Some actionable steps here. Set clear objectives. Based on the needs assessment, define 2 to 3 primary goals, such as reducing onboarding time by 25%, document engine troubleshooting steps, or create a centralized art style guide. Determine scope. Decide whether to start with one department or a studio-wide pilot. Consider launching with one project's pipelines before scaling across all teams. Establish metrics. Identify quantitative metrics, search usage, page views, number of contributions, and qualitative indicators, user satisfaction, reduce repetitive questions, faster decision-making, to measure success. Now, select the right technology platform. The choice of platform profoundly affects usability, integration, and long-term sustainability. Some actionable steps for this. Evaluate options. Compare industry standard knowledge platforms, such as Confluence, Notion, SharePoint, GitHub Wiki. against criteria such as ease of use, version control, access permissions, and integration with existing tools such as Jira, Slack, or Perforce. Pilot popular tools. Run a 2-week trial with small teams using shortlisted platforms. Gather feedback on search speed, editing ease, and collaborative features. Consider custom versus off-the-shelf. If your studio has unique requirements, such as integration with custom build systems, estimate the cost and time of developing an in-house solution versus configuring a commercial platform. Now we move on to design taxonomy and information architecture. A clear, intuitive structure ensures users can quickly locate and contribute content. Some actionable steps for this. Define top-level categories. Based on your needs assessment, draft 5 to 7 categories such as engine and tools, art and animation, game design, QA and testing, and production processes, as an example. Create a navigation prototype. Sketch the folder hierarchy or page tree. Run card sorting exercises with team members to validate the logic of your structure. Standardize naming conventions. Develop style guidelines for page files, file names, and tags. An example could be prefix pages with department codes like PRD underscore, for example, for production, or ENG underscore for engineering, as another example. Next, populate initial content, also known as seeding. A knowledge repository must contain valuable content from day one to drive adoption. Some actionable steps here. Identify knowledge champions. Recruit one enthusiastic representative from each department to serve as a champion. Assign them to curate and upload 10 to 15 key documents, tutorials, or best practice guides. Migrate critical documents. Prioritize migrating up-to-date process documents, style guides, build instructions, and postmortems from previous projects. Template creation. Develop standardized templates for different content types, tutorials, troubleshooting guides, postmortem reports, to ensure consistency and reduce friction for future contributors. Next, we need to establish governance and roles. Clear governance prevents drift, duplication, and outdated content. Some actionable steps for this. Define editorial roles. Specify roles, such as content owner, who's responsible for specific sections, editors who tag and review new content, contributors, which is anyone who can create pages, and admins, who manage permissions and platform settings. Set review cycles. Implement a quarterly review process where content owners audit their sections for relevance, accuracy, and completeness. Flag outdated entries for update or archiving. Approval workflows. For critical content, such as security practices or user data handling, require peer review and sign-off by relevant leads before publication. Next, we'll integrate repositories into daily workflows. To become indispensable, the knowledge repository must be seamlessly woven into your team's everyday tools and processes. Some actionable steps for this. Tool integrations. Configure integrations so that relevant pages appear in context, such as link Jira ticket types to relevant knowledge pages, or embed Confluence macros within Slack channels for quick previews. Onboarding checklists. Include knowledge repository walkthroughs as mandatory steps in new hire onboarding checklists. Reward system. Introduce knowledge contributor badges or small incentives for team members who upload high-value content or participate in review cycles. Now we'll move on to training and encouraging adoption. Robust training and ongoing encouragement combat the build it and they will come myth. Some actionable steps for this. Hands-on workshops. Conduct interactive training sessions demonstrating how to search, create, and update content. Use real-world scenarios. Example could be debug a build error using the repository. Office hours and support. Schedule weekly office hours where champions or admins are available to help colleagues with repository-related questions. Regular reminders. Use internal newsletters, stand-ups, or Slack announcements to highlight new content, best practices, and success stories of how the repository solved real development problems. Ongoing curation and content lifecycle management. A knowledge repository is only as valuable as its relevance and accuracy. Over time, information becomes outdated, processes evolve, and new insights emerge. Establishing robust curation and content lifecycle practices ensures that your repository remains a trusted source for studio-wide learning. Some actionable steps here. Quarterly content audits. Schedule quarterly audits for every top-level category. During each audit, content owners should review all pages, flag obsolete content for archiving, and identify sections needing updates. Archiving outdated material. Create an archive space within the repository where retired documents are stored. Archives preserve historical context without cluttering active sections. Version control and changelogs. Ensure every page has a version history and a changelog section at the bottom. This transparency allows team members to see who updated content, when, and why, reinforcing trust in the repository's accuracy. Measuring impact and ROI. To justify the ongoing investment in your knowledge repository and guide further improvements, track key performance indicators, KPIs, and measure return on investment, ROI. Quantitative and qualitative metrics reveal how the repository influences productivity, onboarding, and innovation. Some actionable steps here. Define key metrics. Usage metrics might be total page views, unique contributors, search queries per month. Efficiency gains could be reduction in time spent answering repetitive questions, faster onboarding times. And quality improvements could be decrease in bug reopen rates or design rework resulting from better documented processes. Implement dashboards. Use built-in analytics from your chosen platform or integrate with external BI tools, such as Power BI or Tableau, to present real-time dashboards. Share these dashboards monthly with leadership and team stakeholders. Collect qualitative feedback. Conduct biannual focus groups or anonymous surveys asking teams how the repository influenced their work. Examples might include frictionless troubleshooting or inspired design choices. Use this feedback to prioritize content updates and training initiatives. Scaling the repository as your studio grows. As your studio takes on more ambitious projects or expands in headcount, your knowledge management strategy must scale accordingly. This involves not only adding new content, but also extending governance and ensuring consistent user experiences across larger teams. Some actionable steps for this. Expand taxonomy and categories. When new disciplines emerge, such as live service operations, VR/AR development, or player community management, create dedicated sections under your top-level taxonomy. Engage subject matter experts to seed these areas. Onboard new team members. Integrate knowledge repository orientation into the onboarding process for every new hire or team. Provide role-specific training to ensure that new teams know how to access and contribute relevant knowledge. Decentralized content ownership. As headcount grows, decentralize content owner roles by appointing deputy owners in each department. This distributes the maintenance workload and embeds stewardship deeper into the organization. Evolving the knowledge base with emerging technologies. Technology continues to transform how we store, retrieve, and interact with information. Leveraging modern tools such as AI-driven search and automated summarization can significantly enhance the discoverability and accessibility of your studio's collective knowledge. Some actionable steps for this. Integrate AI-powered search. Evaluate AI-enhanced search plugins that can surface relevant content through natural language queries and contextual rankings. Conduct A/B tests to compare traditional versus AI search effectiveness. Automate summaries and alerts. Implement bots or scripts that automatically generate page summaries or what's new bulletins for frequent updated sections. Subscribe users to digest emails highlighting recent changes in their areas of interest. Link to external knowledge networks. Where appropriate, connect your repository to external resources, government standards, middleware documentation, or academic papers, so that in-studio knowledge is enriched by broader game development ecosystem. Sustaining a culture of continuous learning. A knowledge repository succeeds only when it's embraced as part of your studio's culture. Leaders must continuously champion its value, recognize contributors, and embed knowledge sharing in everyday workflows. Some actionable steps for this. Executive sponsorship. Secure ongoing executive endorsements by having studio heads reference repository insights in company-wide meetings and strategy sessions. Leadership buy-in reinforces the repository's importance. Knowledge sharing events. Host quarterly knowledge jams or lightning talk series where different teams present solutions they documented in the repository. These events spotlight real-world impact and surface new content needs. Recognition and rewards. Establish Knowledge Champion Awards, monthly or quarterly, celebrating individuals who made substantial contributions to the repository. Offer tangible rewards such as training stipends or conference passes. Final thoughts. Building and managing a knowledge repository is a strategic investment that pays dividends in productivity, innovation, and team cohesion. By following these actionable steps, assessing needs, defining scope, choosing the right platform, designing intuitive architecture, populating content, governing contributions, integrating into workflows, and continuously curating and measuring impact, studio leaders can create a living, breathing source of studio-wide learning. As your studio grows and the industry evolves, this repository will ensure that your teams can scale their expertise, avoid reinventing solutions, and focus their creative energies on delivering exceptional gaming experiences. All right, and that's this week's episode of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for listening, and as always, thanks for being awesome. Oh, hi. And the episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. Be sure to check out more episodes in the playlist and new episodes every week on Monday. Follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave a review. Thanks again for being awesome.